హలో చెప్పండి. ఉంది జర డౌన్లోడింగ్ లో కొంచెం టైం పడుతుంది. జర అయిపోయింది. స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. అదే జస్ట్ డౌన్లోడింగ్ లో ఉన్నారు. జస్ట్ రైట్.
ఏంది స్లో?
Good morning, students. There's a problem with the system. It has taken a lot of time. Just a minute. Yes. Good morning, students. Actually, it has taken a little bit time for downloading, plus the system was dead slow, unable to get on. So okay, now, so today what I'll try to do is, students, like now, so maybe whatever what we call it as like the areas of concern, I'm just to download all the files and I'm just the slides I'm going to show you. So few of the areas I'm going to touch. So last time I think we went with the chapter adjective. So today we will be going through the what we call the preposition, then again modal verbs. So some of the areas like, okay. So maybe I've just given you the slides. You can go through them with the complete illustrations, with explanations I have given students like now. Here we go. So just doubts and all, I'll come back. I wish good morning, everybody. Now, please don't raise your hands and disturb me now. Just let me go on. I'll come back to you. Maybe I'll try to give you some time and you can raise your questions and queries to us like now. Here we go. Yeah, last time you have seen this superlative degree to comparative degree. Sorry. Um, yes. Yes. So we have seen from positive degree to comparative degree, students, like how to change it. A positive degree we have as, and the comparative degree we have the word what we call a clever. Okay, right. Here we go. Now we'll move today from comparative degree to positive degree. The same thing like. So you find here comparative degree. We'll take it in the comparative degree one positive sentence now. Rama works harder. Now you see the word harder is in the comparative degree. Now then now, okay. There is a conjunction we said last time. Am I right? So you have some conjunction there. Right. So actually what we have to say that there is a subject here, there is a verb here, right? Last time we have done that. There is a subject and there is a verb. This is a one clause and this is conjunction as I said now, and this is subject and the verb is missing here. But it is understood that Krishna is, we have to understand like Rama works harder than, sorry, works is there na. So Rama works harder than Krishna does, we have to say DOES. If the main verb is there, we have to use the word does or do now. Okay, it's very clear now. So positive sentence, when it changes into what because a positive degree, so a comparative degree to positive degree, definitely as I said now, the positive will become negative. So Krishna does not work so hard as Rama. So in negative sentences, we try to use the word so as. Try to use the word so as, students, like Krishna does not work so hard as Rama. So again you find here now subject to verb, again the conjunction here now. So let me not work out with the word, this is a conjunction here. So that is how, go ahead with that. Last class also we have seen again now. Then I'll take one negative sentence in the comparative degree, students, like now, right? Rama is not better than Krishna. Then what happens now? Krishna is as good as Rama. So we have seen yesterday last time in a detailed manner how to change, like Krishna is as good as Rama means good comparative degree is better. Now always check with this one. Now hard, for example, like harder. That is how, if you can work out, students, like then again you see the changes like that. You have seen the changes. The subject is becoming the subject here and the subject is becoming subject, the subject, 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 subject. Okay. So please go ahead with that, right? Very good. Now here we go. Superlative degree to comparative degree and comparative degree to positive degree. Be careful because examiner has tested frequently about these degree, students. Now here we go. Little bit of explanation to this one now. It's very easy. Whenever you look from superlative degree to comparative degree, the first thing that we have to see is that check what we call the students. Now you see here positive degree, large, larger, that is also compared to larger, largest, largest. See whether the degree come or not. Last time I told you the double comparative is double superlatives also have to check. There is no double superlatives here now. Okay, right. Minimum requirement in the positive degree is so as, fine. Comparative degree than, fine. And in the superlative degree, it has to be preceded by article the, that is also have to be taken into account now. Okay, right. Now here we go with a little more explanation now. Now you see, what is the something different? The elephant is the largest of all animals. For example, if you see this statement, now just let us look at this one. The elephant is the largest of all animals. So what did you understand here, students, now? So that the understanding here, it is very clear. So in the kingdom of animals, like there is a hierarchy. If you happen to see that in the kingdom of animals, you find something like, oh, maybe this is a small animal, like maybe deer, this is bear, this is again the tintu, some other animal, this is there is another animal, there's something else like giraffe and all, fine. Then you see something here, what we call it as, students, like now, right? Yes. So in the hierarchy of the animals, if you happen to see the hierarchy here now, so you see something, it's going like this. And here we may term this one as the elephant now. This is termed as the elephant here now. Okay. So in the kingdom of animals, like if you see, the elephant is the largest of all animals now. Now certain changes have to be noted here now. In the superlative degree, you will find an expression of all. Be reminded, please. If you find an expression of all, the noun that follows should be and must be plural students now, plural. So there is a S here now. The elephant is the largest of all animals. Of all expression takes a plural noun. Okay, be reminded that. And one more, we can also make it as superlative degree. The elephant is the largest animal. That's also. If of all is not there, then the noun will be singular noun. Singular noun. See. But if there is a word of all, then it is a plural. Or else the elephant is the largest animal. That is also possible. Okay, right. Comparative degree. What are the other changes that we have to see? So there is an expression what we call it as all other. The expression, don't forget please, all other. The expressions have to be reminded, all other. Now the word all other again will give rise to plural noun. Plural noun. So you find here S now. You see here S, all other. And there's one more way we can also make it as a comparative degree. The expression any other. Be reminded, please. Don't get confused with all other, any other. No, these both go with what we call. Any other will give rise to only singular noun. Expression is very clear here now. All other, plural noun. Any other, what we call it as a singular noun, students. Then other areas like larger, larger, then comparative degree, than. Be reminded, please. Okay, right. Now, in the positive degree, what happens like now? No other animal. Be reminded, please. They are the same meanings. Like all are having the same meaning, please. Same meaning. But how to change from superlative to comparative? Comparative. No other animal. The expression no other will always give rise to singular noun only. Singular noun. Singular noun means a singular verb. So large as the elephant, students. So no other will give rise to singular noun. Be reminded, please now. No other. Right? Wonderful now. So this is how you change from superlative degree to comparative degree to positive degree, students. Again, very easy to remember. There is an expression what we call as other. You see here, other. Other is where, students, now it is in the comparative degree and it is in the positive degree. Now you see the word other. That's all. Other word should not be in the superlative degree. Be reminded, right? Very good. Now there's an expression what we call it as all, students. Like now, where is the word all here now? It is in the superlative degree and it is in the comparative degree. You see here now, all. But the word all is not in the positive degree now. Is it okay? Right. So if you have understood, then I'll go little further, students. Now. Again, there is another way of expressing, students, like there is one more way of expressing the superlative degree to comparative degree and comparative degree to positive degree, but the meaning changes here now. So what have we seen here now? In the hierarchy of the animals, elephant is the largest animal. That is what we have seen here now. Okay, right. Then what does this say now? Rabindranath Tagore is one of the greatest poets of modern India. So the expression here, superlative degree, come on, let us see now. There's one of the expressions to students now what we call as, so it's a superlative degree and preceded by the adjective, so there is no harm with that. Okay, right. Now what is this one now? The expression one of. Be reminded, please. One of will give rise to always plural noun. Plural noun. Is one of my friend, don't say. Is one of my friends, we have to say. Is one of my friends. She's one of our teachers. Among many is one. So plural has to be stated, one of. So the meaning changes here, what we call it as like, what does the meaning say here now? In the kingdom of poet, students, like the hierarchy is that there is a Kalidas here, there is a what we call it as maybe Homer here, there is a Tintu here, Bittu here, all what we call it as, students, now. And here we have Tagore. So all are equal here now. Na koi bada, na koi chota. All are equal here. You see that? But what do we find here now? In the kingdom of animals, the elephant is the largest there. But here you find all are equal and one among them is Tagore. That's why it's called one of. All are great. In such a situations, we have to say there are many, but he is one among them. So all are what, because in such situations we have to express the word one of the greatest poets of modern India. And the same meaning if you have to give to comparative degree, so greater is the greatest greater than the expression most other has to be given now. Most other means among all. Most other will give rise to again plural noun, students. Plural noun. So most other. So here you see the difference here now, students. Now all other, any other. And here what you have is most other. So that difference have to be there. Meanings are different. So Rabindranath Tagore is greater than most other poets of modern India, we can say, students now, right? And in the positive degree, students, the expression very few means among all, very few poets. That word very few will give rise to plural noun. And if it is plural noun, your verb also will be plural here now. Plural verb. So very few is a positive sentence now. So therefore, as great as. So great, greater, greatest. That is what we have to see now. As. So the meaning is very, very clear here. So very few poets of modern India are as great as Rabindranath Tagore. But what is the positive degree here now? No other. In the hierarchy, then there is no other. One among them is very few poets. So that is the expression. Please be reminded, students, now work out such kind of ones. Then see the changes now, right? So I have given now just one example. Iron is more useful than any metal. The sentence would be wrong, students, like. Because the meaning of the sentence is equal to iron is more useful than any metal means iron is more useful than iron. What is iron is more useful than iron? You have to exclude. What you are trying to compare is what we call it as like exclude. Some exclusion have to be done once we are trying to see. In the superlative degree, there is an inclusion. Inclusion, you include that. And here in the comparative degree, what we try to do is that, yeah, we are trying to do the elephant is larger than all other animals, like we are excluding something. So here, iron is more useful than any metal, which means iron, you are comparing to iron itself. So there has to be one expression now. Any other, if there is no word other, then the meaning will be iron is more useful than iron. How can you say iron is more useful than iron? Right? Iron is more useful than any other. You see an expression of any other. Other has to be there. If there is no word other, which means you are comparing with the same thing. Like, so when you compare, you have to exclude others. That is how we have to be reminded, students. Right? Very good now. So this is how from superlative degree to comparative degree. Now we will go some miscellaneous now. Other usage of adjectives like this. All these ones have appeared in the GATE examination now. Very quickly, we'll just go through. Hyderabad's climate is better than Delhi. If you say this one, so whether the sentence given sentence is right or wrong, that is what we have to see now. Okay, let us see. So what is wrong here, that also have to be taken into consideration whether the sentence is right. Hyderabad's climate is better than Delhi. Now what is happening, I'll tell you now, the sentence definitely will be wrong here now. Hyderabad's climate is better than Delhi. When you compare one thing to other things, students, like now, try to understand please. What have to be taken into consideration now. The comparison should be of the same features. Now why it is wrong, Hyderabad's climate is better than Delhi? Because you have taken Hyderabad's climate and you are trying to compare to Delhi. It's okay, sir. No, it's wrong. Hyderabad's climate se leke Delhi climate only you have to compare. If you just simply say Delhi, Delhi means there are many things in Delhi. But Delhi is known for political city. Delhi is known for business city. Delhi is known for what? There are a lot of things. What are you comparing to what? So we say what we call it as a parallelism is very, very important. Parallelism means you have to maintain the decorum of that sentence now. So the decorum of the sentence means what are you comparing now? Hyderabad climate to Delhi climate only, yes. So in examination, be reminded and check if anything has what we call it as like gone wrong there, students now, right? So therefore, we have to say here now, Hyderabad's climate is better than, we can say like that of Delhi. That of means climate of is equivalent to climate of. If it is something like plural, if it is something plural, students, like, if it is something plural, then we have to use the word those of. Climate is singular, so I am using the word that. But something is like plural here, then you have to say plural, those of. Okay, take consideration that one also, students, right? Or you can also say sometimes Delhi's. That also would be right. Hyderabad's climate is better than Delhi's, which means Delhi's climate. Or we can also use the word Delhi's climate also, but the only thing is repetition is taking place here now. So better to use the expression what? Better to use the expression that of and those of would be all right now, right? What is parallelism is missing, students? Sometimes you have to be safe. Is a good, audacious, brilliant, and what we call it as sometimes we say. Supposing I use the word what we call it as like sometimes, you know, intelligence boy. Now, what is something wrong here? Now, you see here, adjective, 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 and after and there should be adjective only, and now that is called a parallelism. But what did you write here now? Noun has been given, students, like now. Noun, intelligence boy. So therefore, the sentence will go wrong. So adjective, adjective, adjective. Next one also should be and must be adjective itself. So he is a good, audacious, brilliant, and intelligence boy. We don't say. We have to say what we call it as intelligent boy. We have to say, students, like. So sometimes this decorum has to be maintained. Supposing you express the word, maybe, let me just see. Suppose you are using the word 2 plus V1, comma, V1, comma, V1, and please lower your hands, please. And sometimes what happens like now, you may use the word gerund here now, gerund. Gerund means what? ING form. In such situations, the sentence will go wrong, students, like now. No. Again, what we have to use the word is V1 only. We have to use the word like V1. So V1, V1, verb 1, verb 1, verb 1. Okay, verb 1. Don't use ING forms. The examiner will do like that. Decorum has to be maintained, students, now. Supposing there is what we call it as like a gerundial form, ING, interesting, fascinating, culminating, and fascinating. Only we have to use ING, you have to use here now. ING we have to use here again. Don't use again V1 here now. So we have to use ING again. If you are using V1, then again the sentence will go wrong here now. So the decorum has to be maintained, students, like. Similarly, supposing like you have activated a phrase, comma, phrase, comma, phrase, and don't go with a clause, please. If you go with the clause, then again you will be wrong. It has to be phrase only, again phrase. Similarly, students, like if you go with the word clause, then there should be clause again. If there is a phrase, then it will go wrong. Then again clause, and it has to be clause here. But examiner will come with the word phrase. Phrase. Phrase would be wrong again now. That is called parallelism had to be maintained. What are you comparing to? What, students, like now? Okay, right. Take care of that. Miscellaneous a little bit of that. Yes, here we go again now. Comparative adjective. There is something here now. This also is a the phrase of the two. If you come across the expression of the two, they may give the word of the two. What is superlative degree? Expressed more than two persons or two things is called superlative degree. What is comparative degree? Only between two, please. Which means two groups or two people, or two persons or two things now. That you have to be reminded. Superlative is what? More than two. And comparative is only two. So when you talk about the word of the two, doesn't take then. Now compared to the phrase of the two, if there is of the two, it does not take the phrase then, please. But it takes the article it takes before a comparative degree. Please, we master this rule, please. The phrase of the two, if you come across an expression of the two, sometimes they may not give of the two, but it is understood that there are only two people. Does not take then. It doesn't take then, but it takes the before a comparative adjective. For example, you see here now, John is taller than of the two brothers now. Just now I told you, the expression of the two should not be there, what we call it as like, John is taller than of the two. No, we cannot use the word than here now. So when there is a word of the two, what we have to use that? The rule says, the phrase of the two does not take then, but it takes the before a comparative degree now. Comparative. John is the taller of the two brothers. We have to say John is the taller of the two brothers. Of the two sisters, Sita is the cleverest. Wrong. Just now I told you. Comparative degree is between two people. Superlative is more than two persons now. Here of the two sisters, how can you go with the word superlative degree here now? So therefore you are wrong. Because of the expression of the two. So therefore, Sita is the cleverer. Cleverer. That would be the right expression, students, now. So it cannot be cleverest, it should be cleverer, you should say. So take care of this rule also. Very, very important one. Some miscellaneances have to be taken into consideration, students. Like here we go. So one more rule, we will go with that. Now number 3, students. Like here we go with number 3 now. So what is number 3 now? Just having one more reading, you will understand better, students. Like one more reading will help you to have better, right? Here we go. So usually though is not used before the superlative adverbs. So which means, what did you understand by this one now? Just a minute. Usually the is not used before the superlative adverbs. Superlative adjectives we use the, but superlative adverb we don't use. So how it is that usually the is not used before the superlative adverbs? For example, what are adverbs? First of all, just an idea. Sita sings. How Sita sings melodiously is an adverb, that's all. I don't say Sita sings the melodiously. Can I say the melodiously? What is the melodiously? Sita sings melodiously. He plays good or he plays well? Plays is verb. Immediately after that there should be adverb here now. So therefore good is wrong here. It should be well only. Don't say he plays good. Most of us students say he plays good. Adverb has to modify verb. So therefore the right word is he plays well. We have to say don't play his, what we call it as students now. So good is adjective then. Na? Again, adjective modify the verb. Adjectives don't modify the verbs, please. Adverbs will modify the verbs now. So just to explain that usually the is not used before the superlative adverbs. So in a given sentence, first of all, you should understand whether the given word is adverb or adjective now. Sometimes the same word can be adverb and same word can be adjective. Just now we have seen good, better, best. Well, better, best also. Now the word best stands for good, at the same time adjective, and best stands for well also. How do you understand now? The sentence have to be read properly now. Mohan wrote the best of all. The moment you see the word best, immediately you will go with the article because sir, it is superlative degree. But you are wrong here now. Why? Mohan wrote. First of all, always ask this question now. Wrote is the verb here now. Ask a question to verb. Last time I have shown you. Ask a question to verb. What happens like? Ask a question to verb. You will get the answer what? Adverb you have to get, not adjective. So therefore, how Mohan wrote the answer that I should get here is what we call it as adverb. I have to get here now. How Mohan wrote? Elegantly, legibly. I have to get the answer adverb here. So best. Now best is adverb here now. Well, better, best. Therefore, the should not be activated. Mohan wrote best of all. So the moment you see superlative degree, don't confine yourselves and say, sir, it is superlative, so I have to go with that. No. But work out and see whether it is doing the work of what? Adverb now, right? Mohan played the most skillfully. Skillfully, more skillfully, most skillfully. Superlative degree. So article the. No, but you are wrong. How? Ask a question always, students, like now. How Mohan played? You are asking a question to verb. And I have to get my answer is adverb. I have to get now. If I have to get the adverb now, there cannot be the Mohan played most skillfully, we should say. Are you able to understand now? So take care of such expressions, please. These are the areas where Gate generally focuses their attention. So one should not confuse now, right? So the next rule, some comparative adjectives, not positive, comparative adjectives have lost their comparative meaning. So which means they are not comparatives. Then what are they? And are hence used as positives, it seems like. Yes. They appear to be comparatives, but they are not comparatives, but they are, they don't take then. But they end in ER. The moment you see the word ER, then you say, sir, this is comparative degree, so therefore I have to. So some comparative adjectives are lost their comparative meaning and are hence used as positives. They don't take than, students. Like for example, come on, here we go, let us see. Yeah, so there is just a small, because I had to write so that, I thought if I start writing here, it will take a lot of time. I've just given some Wigboyer form, students, like some what we call a Wigboyer form here now. So there are some words like, I've just given word something like foul hen, so that you can easily remember these many adjectives like foul hen. And then I have added foully, what we call it as like foully, henu. Then I and you also. F stands former, O stands outer, U stands utter, L stands latter. Now I stands for example, like inner, H stands hinder, E stands elder, N stands nether world, bottom world, like inner, upper now. What did I say? Just now I told you they take than or they don't take than now. No. Former than, outer than, inner than, elder than, upper than. I told you the comparative degrees, no doubt they are ending in ER. The moment you see these words ER, you tend to say that the comparatives and then you go with the word than. No. So how do you know this is, for example, like for he's an utter fool, we can say. He's an utter fool, students. He's an elderly man. For example, like, okay, inner peace. So we can use such words like, so it does not take than, students, like it does not take than. So take care of such expressions like, right, number 5. There are 2 adjectives in English. 7 of them take 2 expression. Participants, just wait. Don't raise your hands now. Just I'll come back to you now. You just to write the slide name and just keep it paste. There are 12 adjectives, 7 of them take 2 expressions, others don't take these 2 expressions. So what are these 7 adjectives? Here we go, come on, let us see now. Superior, inferior, senior, junior, anterior, before, posterior, after, prior, before, right? So there are 7, what we call it as now, 7. So you see that 7 once students, like we have to use the expression to now, superior to somebody. No doubt they are ending in or. Then sometimes you may use the word than. No, don't use the word than. Inferior than, don't say inferior to. Junior to. There is one verb also. I prefer coffee to tea, we have to say. So this is verb here actually. So there are 12 adjectives, 7 of them take, so be reminded students now, work out. So 7 of them take these ones, like 7 adjectives now, right? Then there are others, 5 now. What are the 5 adjectives here now? Interior, major, minor, ulterior, exterior now. Now interior than, they don't take even than also now. They don't take the word to. This is a minor importance to me, we have to say. Don't use this such expressions now. It is a minor importance now. What is your ulterior motive behind this? So such kind of statements. Don't worry, it is there in the exercise book. I'll come back to that. Certain examples I'll have written there, students now. Right. The last one is that there are some superlative adjectives. They don't to take. There are some adjectives which have the sense of superlative, but they don't appear to be superlative. They have the meaning or sense of superlative, which means they don't take article the. Right? For example, like perfect. Is the most perfect, more perfect, most perfect now. Is the most perfect. No, don't say. Perfect itself means there is no other thing existing like this, which means it is already giving superlative meaning now. So don't ever try to use the word what we call it as the now. Right? So certain exceptions could be there here and there, but we don't say. Unique building. The building itself is unique. You are trying to say there is no other thing that exists in this world. Then again, why you want to activate article the before that? This is the most unique building, no? So you can say what this is a unique building, that's all. Round, for example, like more round. Don't prefix what we call it as students like now. So don't suffix and don't prefix like. So sometimes people try to use these words like. So there are these adjectives like don't suffix and don't prefix because they have superlative meanings, please. So the word round itself means round now. Don't say it is more round than. No, why more round? Square itself means a square itself. More square. Eternal, something final. More eternal, most eternal, please don't say. Such words, students like now, don't suffix and don't prefix. Why? They have the superlative meaning, students. Like they have the superlative meanings. So try to work out with these ones and see. But examiner has asked almost all these ones, students like. So take care of these ones, right? That's how the adjective chapter will get over here now. There's one exercise I'll come back afterwards, students. Like you'll be allowing me to come back afterwards, like, or else you can also do it by yourselves. If you have any doubts, you can bring to my notice. Now straight away we'll go with the chapter preposition now, right? So what exactly you mean by the preposition? First of all, let me just explain, students, like, because there are a lot of questions which have appeared from the preposition, like, okay, here we go. Right. So a simple definition what the preposition is now. So if you divide the word pre means before, position, you position before noun, that's all. That is my explanation, students. Like simple prepositions also tested in the gate. Simple prepositions and sometimes compound prepositions, sometimes phrasal prepositions, all these ones. Very quickly, I'll just go through, students, like, but I've clearly detailed it. So let me not waste my time also here now. You can, once reading, you'll understand. So first of all, let me explain a little bit what exactly they are prepositions. Now, for example, I've given now, a cow is grazing dash the field now. So the right preposition that you can fill here is that a cow is grazing in the field now. So this is preposition now, where before noun itself. But article is there. Don't say that. Don't bring article and preposition in the middle now. A cow is grazing the in field, don't say no. In the field only. Okay, right. Prepositions will come before articles now. Articles. Noun, article, preposition. This is the preposition, article plus noun. That is the position of the preposition, students. Like, so take care of prepositions, articles, then nouns. Like, don't jumble it up. Now, what is a preposition? In other words, very simple definition, students. Like, a preposition is nothing but which shows kind of a relationship. That's all. Relationship between subject and object. Maybe let me call it as like subject and object. Noun and noun. Noun and pronoun. Right? Adjectives and nouns sometimes. So some relationship between two things, like relationship, subject and object. Just I have given the word subject and object here. So what is the relationship between a cow and the field here? Now you see that. So there is a relationship. Cow is grazing, no doubt. So what is the relationship between a cow and the field now? Cow is in. That is the relationship now. So between two nouns, between subject and object, between noun and noun, between noun and pronoun, that is the main definition of prepositions. Some relationship between two things, like, for example, what relationship could be like? For example, let me see. What is the relationship between the pen and the what we call it as the board? Like, I am writing with a pen. Understand now? What is the relationship between book and the table? Like, book is kept on the table. That's all. What is the relationship between you and time? Sometimes, sir, I come at 7 o'clock. Now you and the time is 7. Now you see. So something which shows the relationship between two objects or two subjects, or sometimes noun and noun, noun and pronoun, we term it as a right now. So prepositions are followed by sometimes adjectives. Now here we go. That is the definition I've given now. So sometimes prepositions are followed by adjectives now. They follow adjectives actually. Is good at mathematics now. They follow adjectives, please. So you have to master adjectives. That's why it's called adjectives phrases, like is good at, is good for nothing, I bid him goodbye. There are different prepositions and different meanings with the same word adjective. So prepositions are followed by adjectives, like, right, is weak in mathematics now. Now something different here now. We can. These preposition, students, like I'll tell you, one of the most difficult areas is prepositions itself, because ours is second language. Sometimes when you translate, you'll get different senses and different meanings. And most often, sometimes we translate, right, and we think that is right. For example, if I say, he is on the plane from New York, or he is in the plane from New York. Most of them will say, sir, he is in the plane from New York now. The right expression is on the plane from New York. Now people start translating on the plane. Plane ko upar baith ke aa raha hai kya wo? No, that's what like made it. Respect the English. Respect English, please. Do you have any money with you? आपके पास कुछ पैसे है क्या? Literal translation people make. Do you have any money with you? You are wrong. The right expression is, do you have any money on you? You will never digest. ये तो बहुत अजीब लग रहा है साहब. Do you have any money on you? आपके ऊपर, but that is English. Do you have any money on you? That is the right expression, students. But if you translate, you will go wrong. And that is what prepositions are now. Prepositions are. So please work out, students, like, because prepositions, constant reading, constant exercise. I may teach today only few, like at here is mathematics. I am just teaching now. And my skill. Dictionary, open dictionary today, Oxford Dictionary. At is activated in 16 areas. 16 areas. Sorry. At is 16 and in is 14, I think. Yeah. 14 or 15 areas, like. It's not that one area, please. At is activated a lot of areas. Right? So please open Oxford Dictionary, Standard Dictionary, and you see today how many places the word at is activated, like. More than 15 areas, like in 15 areas, for 15 areas, with 18 areas. like that. So students, like, just try to understand, like, so prepositions are followed by adjectives. You need to give an appropriate adjectives, preposition with adjectives now. Okay, right? Very good now. So here, you see, but the rule is okay now. The rule is, general rule is, it's noun. It has to be preceded by, but they follow adjectives. So mathematics is now no doubt before noun, but they follow adjectives. Okay. Number 3, prepositions are followed by verbs also, it seems like. So what are these verbs also? Let us also look into now. He congratulated on my success. The rule is success is noun before noun, and congratulated is verb. Students, like, they follow verbs like. So the verb right preposition, that is our skill. That is our skill, students. Like, congratulated in my, we don't say. Some students are raising their hands. Lower your hands, please. I'll come back. Whatever doubts you have, please keep it in mind. I'll just come back to you. Right? Wonderful. He congratulated on my success, we should say. Prepositions are, Sridevi, lower your hand, please. Prepositions are followed by nouns also now. Now you see that? Nouns. I have an acquaintance with him. See, before pronoun, but they follow nouns. That is the beauty of the preposition, students. Like, they follow adjectives, they follow verbs, they follow what we call it as nouns. Like, so in one word, I can call it as, like, they follow van. Verbs, adjectives, and nouns. Van concept. But how many are of, right, students, like, thorough with these expressions? Like, it's very difficult. But it's a mastery is necessary, because GATE is testing prepositions. Like, so these are the areas that one has to keep in mind, students. Like, here we go, next one now, right? So there are some kinds of prepositions. I've just given some list here now. Yeah, you need not to look into them all, but just have a kind of a glance, students. Like, place. So there are a lot of prepositions which express about place, students. Like, right? There are a lot of prepositions which express about time. There are a lot of prepositions which express about agency, which expresses about mannerism. Okay, by whom that has been done, by this man or that man. Okay, right? So then again, sometimes they express measurement, standards, rate, value, and sometimes these prepositions also express contrast. Prepositions also express inference, motive, and all. So there are different kinds of prepositions, a little bit of. And if you open the dictionary, all the meanings have been given to this one now. So I've just explained a little bit of this, the preposition, students. Like, we can, what I want to just say that there are different kinds of prepositions. Right? Wonderful. Now here we go. So there are some techniques of mastering prepositions. Like, one of the ways is mastering kinds of prepositions. Like, if you open a book called Wren and Martin High School English Grammar Book, please go through that book, please. Wonderful way. Most of my queries or explanations are from Wren and Martin High School English Grammar Book itself. You will find that the concept I have taken is from Wren and Martin High School, one of the most famous books available in the market of grammar. Right? Sometimes this book is being even taught in schools. They refer Wren and Martin, Wren, W-R-E-N, Wren and Martin. Okay. Wren and Martin. There are at least one or two things that a student should do before his completion of graduation. Like, one has to read a grammar book, students, like Wren and Martin, at least one book. Then one student also has to read vocabulary book, at least like Norman Lewis's Word Power Made is a book. He also has to read that. There are at least two things one has to do that. One grammar book and one vocabulary. That is what English is. Other than what? So there are certain techniques also. One of the techniques is we master through kinds of prepositions. And there are some techniques, students, like groups or memory tricks, I call it as. Like, what are these memory tricks, students? Like, wonderful way I actually explain, students. See, there are a lot of ways of explaining prepositions. Doesn't mean that is the only way to master these prepositions is to just going through each preposition and mastering them. No. There are a lot of techniques there. One of the techniques is grouping prepositions. One minute, students. You see certain what we have prepared actually a small book, but I have lost that book. Some student has taken when off classes were going on, and the student did not return me. I lost my work actually, complete work I have lost. It has taken a lot of time for me to prepare. Like so, there are certain techniques students like to master. Simple techniques like prepositions. Usually, I group them. So, for example, you see here, there's a word gird. You rebel. You are offended. You are warned. You lean. I just want to ask somebody what preposition will follow these one students like now. You gird, you rebel, you are offended, you are warned, you lean. One preposition. You gird against. You see here now? You gird against somebody. You rebel against somebody. You are offended against somebody. You are warned against somebody. You lean against the wall. Wonderful way we master these groupings. Like that, I prepared n number of actually like verb itself. I think 150 groupings I have done. Adjectives around 100, nouns around 70 or 80 I have done. But I told you, But just to explain you a kind of these are all verbs. I have taken it as verbs first of all. But in my grouping students, you will not find these ones in any books anywhere else in the world. Like these are all creativity of the. Sometimes the faculty has his own creativity. This is one of my creativities in prepositions. Like now, you find something here like in my memory trick students. Now you see all my first letters. If you coin it is a word actually like growl. GROWL. GROWL is a sound of a bear. Just to make one word like say my all first words, so that after what we call it as like maybe after 2-3 months also, oh growl, okay fine, like G stands for gird, R stands for rebel, O stands for offend, W, so you girl. But again I want to tell you, caution you, that individual prepositions will take different, individual words may take different prepositions, but as a group I have just taken it as students like, right? This is also verb. I have just one what we call it as like destined, eligible, penitent, what we call it as like reference, eminent, what we call notorious. So what preposition which we can think of students? Destined, eligible, penitent. Sorry, these are all adjectives, please. Eminent, notorious, because OUS, na? ED, designed. What could be the preposition that which we can think of now? I think simple preposition which we can think is for. It is designed for what? Is eligible for what? Is penitent for what? It is eminent for what? Is notorious for? It is designed for. So wonderful way master students like. And you find all my first two letters, definitely you will find the what is that? Depend. D-E-P-E-N-D, depend now. So that you can retain this one for a long time and master them, work out. But individual ones may have different prepositions like, but as a group I'm trying to say like. The word already jeer appeared in Git. Jeer means smoke. You jeer at somebody, you hint at what, because you aim, you glance, you gaze what? At. You jeer at something. You hint at something. You aim at something. You glance at something. Wonderful students like. That is how we, right? One student asked me when I was teaching somewhere in Delhi, I think, sir, make one preposition list on my name also. That's what I've just said. His name was something like Jos Paul. Jos Paul. JWSSPLL, Jos Paul. Jump, wonder, stare, smile, peck, look, laugh, like simple. I just want. You jump at somebody. You wonder at something. You stare at something. You smile at somebody. The bird pecks at something. You look at somebody. You laugh at somebody. Laugh with somebody is good. Laugh at somebody is mocking. So this is just I've given only few students like just to make you understand or help you understand that there are prepositions one can master in this way. Okay, right. Now the third one is the storytelling students. I create a lot of stories also in narrating stories So that prepositions can be mastered very easily. Then finally, I'll come with the confused prepositions. One has to know what are all these confused prepositions also. So here there is a story like preposition, students, like preposition of a place. Just sometimes I create preposition of place, preposition of time, like for example, like you see here now. Just to explain a story. A story is nothing but this is something about a prisoner who want to escape. That's all. Story is nothing, I'm not going to give you pakka stories like this. Are all just a fabricated story. But how many prepositions you will find here? Now you see here now. Let us see, just for your convenience now. So one prisoner want to escape, and how does he behave in the prison? Like when you amble here and there in the avenue, or in all parts of the roads, preposition of place only. Again, you walk the roads, means you walk about or around the roads like. So what do you mean by you walk about or around the roads? That is the meaning. You walk about the roads. Means this side to that side. In that case, you might like to escape. You want to escape. That's. But imagine if there are high walls, the jail. High walls about the jail. About means like surrounding. About is a preposition here now. About as surrounding meaning here now. Means surrounding the jail. So you want to escape, then the jail has a wall, and how you will escape, students, like. In desperation, you lean, just now I told you now, you lean against the edge, against some wall there. Now you lean, you see here now. The word lean takes against now. You lean against the edge sometimes. You run along the road, along the wall, means beside the wall. Across is different, from this side to that side. Along the wall, edge. So you are looking for ways to escape. So along means by the side of the hedge. But in no way can you get across. Now what is across, students, like now? Means dog ran across the road from this side to the other side. Across. From one side of it to the other. Suddenly you find beside. Then when you want to escape, suddenly you found there is one guy. Yourself, another prisoner with you. Now he also has come to your aid now. Both of you begin to hatch a plan to run away. While thus talking secretly, you do not like a third person to come between. You don't want the other fellow to come between. Now between is expressed only two people. Among is more than two people. Gate has already tested this word in Gate. The middle of the two of you, you suddenly see a policeman at some distance. You want to run, but at some distance. Both of you rush towards the trees, or you want to hide there. The direction of trees and hide among. There are many as between, but used for more than two among them. The policeman runs behind. Behind is a preposition. Behind you. You are caught and taken before is in front of the jailer. He is wearing shorts now. The jailer now, his appearance now. He is wearing shorts that reach below in a lower position his knees. He is sitting under the fan. Under the fan, right? Under the fan, students, now directly below the fan. In other words, the fan is above, above, directly. Over means the other side. His head. It is not on, that is lying on the surface, that is being in contact with the surface, his head. Okay, if it were so, he would not be able to bear the fan's weight. Now, fine. When he sees the two of you, he gets annoyed, first of all. He gets up from his chair. He goes and stands by the window, near the window. Nehali, lower your hand, please. By the window, near the window. At this moment, the warden's friend comes into the, now in and into now. Into means movement. In means stagnation. So his friend has come now. He sees the two of you standing nervously in the room. He asked the warden, what we call it as like his friend, warden's friend, is asking warden, don't you know that it is the earth that goes around the sun? Earth moves around the sun, which means these prisoners have come into your room and you are standing there. No, you should be very careful with these prisoners. Sun has to be always there. Yes, as in the center position. You cannot go here and there. Don't you know that this is the earth that goes around the sun? Saying this, he marches through, the word has come again appeared, through the gate, some area, and you pass through. So something is narrowed and you pass through from one end to the other room and comes to the warden now. Within means he's trying to say in the room what you are supposed to, inside an enclosed space, this room, you are the sun. You should therefore sit in the middle of the room. When the prisoners are there, you don't go and stand near by the window, by the door, right? The warden rests his hands upon is a movement. On is resting, friend's shoulders. He first sees the people moving without the room. See that they don't move. And then he focuses his friend's attention on the wall, where ants are seen climbing. So some ants are climbing. See, the ants climbing up from floor towards ceiling the wall. Will they not also climb down it? So he just started asking, see, there are some ants there. And there actually where the ants were going, there was some place to escape actually. Yes. So the prisoners knew that now slowly they learned that there is some place here now. So only through this window they can. It is a simple story, that's all. There's nothing like reality and all, like fabricated ones. But how many prepositions we have mastered in this one, students? That is the beauty of mastering the prepositions now, right? Now we'll move on to this. See this, there is, yeah. There is an adjective exercise, students. Like you please go through the exercise. Whatever I have done, it is nothing but it is given, that's all. So you please look into that. Now you see the fifth one now. The daffodils smell sweetly. The sentence is wrong now because sir, smell is verb. Automatically this will be adverb. You will say no. Sometimes what happens, students, now adjective has to be given now. The daffodils smell sweet. It's sweetly now. Here we are not talking about the action of the daffodils here, but the quality of the daffodils. Now quality is always adjective. Action is verb now. The daffodils smell sweet. He looks coldly. No, he looks cold. Don't say coldly, please. So certain corrections have to be made here and there now. So please go through these ones. Well, you can do them. You can do them, students. Like I have given the gate questions are also a lot of questions. But time permits, I'll come back. Time permits, I'll come back. Don't worry now. The key also has been given here for, if you have any difficulty in understanding the exercise of the adjective, but I want to just go somewhere else. Now I just want to go with the adverb. Read it by yourself, students. Like I've just given the word adverbs, different kinds of adverbs. It's a very easy chapter. I'm not handling that chapter, right? Key also has been given here. Now, so some confused prepositions. A very quick glance, I just want to go with that. Sometimes GATE has tested these one, students. Like very quickly, I'll just brush through them. Right? Yes. You see the word at in, what is the difference, correct use of certain prepositions, students? It is also in the book also, but I'll refer the page numbers, don't worry. Right, first of all, we are going at in now. So at a very quick glance, let me just go through them and make you understand. At in now. At is used with places, usually small towns and villages. First of all, you have to learn like that. At is used before a definite point of time. In is used with the countries and large towns and before a period of time. See me at 6 o'clock point of time in the morning period of time. Right? He lives at Saket in Delhi. Small place, larger place. Please read others now. Number 2, buy with. Nagareddy. Students are raising hands. Please allow me, please. I'll come back to you. Just wait. Just wait. I'll come back. Whatever your doubts are there, I'll try to lower your hand, please. Kavita, lower your hands. Buy with, for example, like let us see here now. Buy is used to express the agent or doer of the action, person. With relates to the instrument with which the action is done. He was stabbed by a bandit with a knife. It's very clear. Between, among. Between is used with two persons or things, among with more than two. Divide the cake between these two boys. He was standing among the people. Into. In is used in speaking of things at rest. Into is used in speaking of things in motion. She is in bed at rest. He was standing at rest. They marched, movement. On, upon. On is used in speaking of things at rest and upon of things in motion. Sat on. The cat sprang upon, movement. In, within. In means at the end of a future period. Within means before the end of a future period. I shall be here in a week. I shall be here within a week. What is the difference? I shall be here in a week means maybe after 6 days. Within means maybe Monday, Tuesday, or within, between. Okay, right. After in generally used to denote some period of time in the past. In is used to show some period of time in the future. That is the difference, please. He returned the past tense, so after. He will return, future, in. Beside, besides, gate question, please. I have not written this. I should have written there, gate, and all like. But beside means by the side of or outside of. Besides means in addition to. Yes, is there means additional one. He came and sat beside me, means by my side. Besides, in addition to giving him advice, he gave him money. His answer is beside the question, means irrelevant. Don't say besides the question, beside the question now, right? Before, for. Before is used in negative and affirmative sentences to denote what? A point of time, point of future time. For is used in negative sentences to denote a period of future time. So before is used both negative and affirmative, but future, point of time. The sun will not rise for an hour. An hour is a period of time. So we cannot say the sun will rise not, the sun will not rise before. Don't use before with the period of time, please. Before is used for a point of time, not for a period of time. The sun will rise before 7 o'clock. The sun will not rise before 7 o'clock. That is absolutely right, students. Now here we go. Since, for. Last time I told you, since is a point of time. For is a period of time. Please read them. Now from, I'll just want to go with the word like from. And since and for both are activated with the perfect tenses, please. Perfect tense. Present perfect and past perfect. And you see on the from denotes a point of time. It may be used with all the tenses. It may be followed by to, till, or until. Either expressed or understood sometimes. He worked from morning to. So from to. Begin schools from today, from to. He will begin school from 2. Okay, right. Right, students, like now. Here we go. Till, until. Is very often used as conjunctions of time. Both are. We will stay here till it stops raining. Go on till you come to level crossing, like conjunctions now. So it is joining two sentences now. It is joining two sentences. Go on is one sentence. Means you go on. Till you come across conjunctions like, right? Very good now. Till. Across, through. Across means from side to side. Through means entering at one side and coming out at the other now. You can go across the fields. You can go through the gate. To at. To is used to express motion from one place to another. At is used to express motion at rest. We go to school every morning. Very good. Till two now. Till is used of time and to is used of a place. By, before. By a time, by a date we say. For example, you see here now, and before is what now? It often implies before that time. The train starts at 5:10. So you had better be at the station by 5. Don't say before 5, don't say. Before can be a preposition, it can be a conjunction, it can be adverb. Before signing this. So signing is noun, signing this. So noun form and before that preposition, conjunction. Before you sign this, read this letter now. Before is you doing the work of conjunction here now. There are 2 sentences. I have seen him somewhere before, adverb here now. Where? Somewhere before, adverb now, right? On time, in good time. On time means at the time arranged. Exact. Not before, not after. In time means before. In good time means, okay, fine. Not too late, not too early. The 9:15 train starts on time. It starts exactly 9:15. In time means not late. In good time with comfortable margin. At the beginning, in the beginning. At the beginning, literally at the beginning. In the beginning or at first. In the early stages of life, it implies that later on there was a change. Reminded this. At the beginning of the book, say. Don't say in the beginning of the book. At the beginning of the book, there is a table of contents like. In the beginning, God created the world. Right. At the beginning of the book, there is often a table of contents. In the beginning, at first we used hand tools. Later we had machines. Antonym to at the beginning is at the end. In the beginning is in the end or at last. So please go through them, work out students now, right? Above, over. Please read it both by yourselves. Below, under, beneath, underneath. Heavy confusion. Below. At or to a lower level or position than somebody or something below. Lower than somebody. Please do not write below this line. Position. Under. Used to say who or what controls somebody. Somebody is controlling you. She has a staff of 20 workers under her. Underneath. Under or below something, especially when it is hidden or covered by the thing on it. Underneath. The coin rolled under the piano. Something covered. Beneath means not good enough for somebody. He considers such jobs beneath him. Maybe he's an engineer and he got a clerical job. She married beneath her. Maybe her clan is superior and his clan is lower. Not good for somebody. If you read these ones, then only you can do exercise. Otherwise, you cannot do exercise, students. Here we go. Beside, between, behind, in front of, opposite. What is? Beside means by the side. Between means 2 people. Behind means what now? Suppose sitting in the theater, like someone is behind you. In front of, theatrical sitting, someone is in front of you. Opposite means facing each other. That is called opposite. In the dining table, don't say someone is sitting opposite you. Don't say he's sitting in front of me. Don't say. In front of is the classroom style. Theatrical style. But and except. Please read that. But students like now. If you have read that, you will easily understand. Like, but always goes with the negative words like no, nobody, but except generally comes in the end of the places, like end of the sentences. Due to, owing to. Very, very important, but slight difference. Due to means caused by. Is associated with the parts of the verb to be formed. Be formed, it always goes with the be form, like as an adjectival complement. His illness was, now you see be form here now, due to. Was be form due to. But owing to, because of is a prepositional phrase governing nouns now. It goes with the nouns like. Owing to is poor English. Now you see is poor English now is noun form. Owing to the bad weather. Now bad weather is noun form like. So it is noun and it is be form. It goes with the be form. That's as a since, because for GATE has already tested these ones now. Let us see. They are used to refer to the reason for something. All are used for some reasoning. As and since are used when the reason is already known to the listener. Please, listener already knows. As and since clauses often come at the beginning of the sentence. Please, as and what? Since. As it is raining again, we will have to stay at home. Since he had not paid his bill, his electricity was cut off. And in informal language, it is raining. So now, so is the conjunction in the middle now. So we have to stay at home. Because puts more emphasis on the reason and most often introduces new information which is not known to the listener now. Because is more powerful. Because is more powerful, students, now. Because I was ill for 6 months, I lost my job. Now the word for introduces new information. A for clause never comes at the beginning of the sentence, please. Never start the sentence with a for. I decided to stop and have lunch. Why? The new reason is that for I was feeling hungry. Supposing I make a question like, I respect him as he is my teacher. I respect him for he is my teacher. I respect him because he is my teacher. I respect him since she is my teacher now. I have used 4 conjunctions. The right expression here is because. Why? More emphasis. Why I am respecting? She is my teacher. That's what. Be careful about that. More emphasis is on the reason now. Less emphasis is as the since for. For is for new information. For never used in the beginning. Because can be used in the beginning or in the end, no problem. As and since, where, since often comes at the beginning of the sentences. Please read them. Workout, students, like workout, please. Despite, in spite, both are same words. And don't say the word despite of, don't say. Despite, in spite of will take noun, pronoun, and gerunds. They take phrase. Though, although plus subject, they take clause. Examiner, what that is, it does. With though, he will give the phrase, and with despite, he will give what we call it as like. You see that in spite of having no qualification, gerund ing. In spite of having no qualifications, next is there is a clause. Now see the difference now. Although it smelled horrible now, it is the subject, smelled is the verb now. Although takes a clause. In spite of the horrible smell, there is only noun here now. Although it was dangerous, clause. In spite of the danger, noun. Though he was inexperienced, clause. In spite of his inexperience, only noun place. Workout. By, on, in now. We travel by train, by tram. Sometimes don't say by the train, don't say by train, by tram, by boat, by aeroplane. By the aeroplane, don't say by land, by sea, by air, by bus. In a bus, we can say on a bus, we can say by car, in a car, by taxi, in a taxi, in a carriage, by bicycle, on a bicycle, on horseback, on foot. Don't say by foot, please. Use, used to, be used to. Very good now. Use is normal use of. Can I use your pen? Used to is a past habit like. But be reminded, please. Be used to means like be form of the verb now. Whenever there is be used to form, there is to be ing form now. Let us see there. Plus ing here now. You see, we are used to the noise. Noun also is. So you are used to the noise. Noun is here now. I am used to getting up. Ing form here. You see that? Workout, please. Workout, please. Even get to also is the same like at, on, in now. Usually we say we sit at a desk, on a chair, on a bench, on a sofa, in an armchair, in a tree. On a tree, there is a difference like. On a tree means like some like on one branch. In a tree means the whole tree is the house of the abode of a maybe monkey like in with. We write in ink with a pen, with a pencil, with a piece of chalk. Right, students now. But we write in ink. A student may be good at, bad at, clever at, quick at, slow at, weak in a subject like mathematics, English, science. He is good at English but weak in mathematics. You listen something on the radio, you watch something on TV, you speak something on the telephone. Please, all are on now. Notice these pairs. Very, very important. Last year there was one question like you are angry with a person, but you are angry at an object, please. Okay. You are annoyed with a person, but you are annoyed at an object base. You are indignant with a person, but you are indignant at a thing. You deal with a person, but you deal in business. I deal in Peter, don't say. You reconcile to a person, but you reconcile with a thing now. You feel sorry about something, but you feel sorry for a person. You are vexed with a person, but you are vexed at a thing. You agree with a person, but you agree to an object base. So person and thing, what are the prepositions that we have to activate? Little bit of learning is necessary, students. You depart from a person, but you depart with a thing like. You interfere with a person, but you interfere in a thing like. You take a fancy to a person, don't say for a person. I have taken fancy for him, don't say. To take a fancy to a person and take a fancy for an object like. Responsible to a person, responsible to an for a thing, students, like now, right? So be reminded about that. Then again, like so, there is exercise. I'll just take few students like now. A lot of explanations also have been given. What if you have done that, then we can do that. I'll just take few. Please do not write below this line or beneath this line. Like below, I've already talked about that. He considers such jobs beneath him like. She has a staff of 20 workers under her. The coin rolled underneath the piano. He seems bad-tempered, but he is very soft-hearted underneath his heart. Please remain seated during the performance or while the performance. Like during is a preposition and while is a conjunction now. The burglar got in through the window. You can only achieve success by hard work. Right? So work out, students, like now in this manner. And well, most of the ones I have already explained here now, and please go through and you can easily work out, students, right? Sometimes some are confusing, highly confusing, like who did she address the letter to? All right, please work out with that now, right? Yeah. You can stay on the bus. We can say like this. You can stay on the bus until Hyderabad. He was on the plane from New York. The doctor put me on antibiotics now. So please go through this exercise. I want everyone to do this exercise, students, like now, right? Yes, please go through that exercise. There are questions that appeared from this bit only last year. In case of doubt, key is given like maybe, what did I say? Just one question. Achieved. 1 minute. You can only achieve success by, don't say, through hard work now, right? Burglar got in through the window. In case of doubt, please go through the dictionary, students, like it will be understood now, right? Here we go. Now there's one important section I want to cover that. So key is been given, work out with the key, students. This is important, very, very important, please, very important. So these are all called phrasal verbs, students. Like I think there is a explanation also has been given there. The situation dash prompt action, like the situation calls for a call set. So this is how the GATE examiner, I think there is a even explanation has been given. I'll come back to that. There are 76. And I told you from the beginning, I'll give you 76 verbs I told you. Sorry. Key is given, explanation also has been given, like why calls for, why not, that has given that it is there. I'm coming back. This we have already done last class. It's repeated here. This we have already done, students. Yeah, I just want sentence completion, please. This one, read it, students. I'll just make you understand. Questions that are testing basically this sentence completion means fill in the blanks like vocabulary based and what we call it as the grammar based. Like both can be like. If you read, you will understand. Just go through this one. Like I have analyzed every bit of that one also. I'll just come to that one. You see here. Questions that basically test your logical faculty, like strengthening sentences. I told you, how strengthening sentences means one part of the sentence is strengthening. There is a conjunctions here now. If you come across these conjunctions, one part is strengthening the other part, like how I have explained, analyzed such a way that you see. Her dash, last time I told you, her dash should not be confused with miserliness. I have analyzed here now. Why there is a word so long as. They're all called strengthening sentences. Please go through them, few of these strengthening sentences now. Now the next one is contrasting sentences. Even though he worked hard, he failed now. So these are some of the conjunction, students, like now you have to understand, like though, even though, contrasting sentences. If you come across this one sentence is in antonymous to other part of the sentence now. For example, you see, even though 6 players had been injured, what happens even 6 players have been injured? The team will lose. The coach announced to the assembled reporters that the team would dice the championship now. Because of the expression, even though, suppose like 6 players had been injured means it will lose the match. But because of the expression, even though, it will be otherwise, the team will win. You see here now, the team ignore, win. No, win is the right answer now. Sir, how? Please read this, analyze. I have analyzed it like very clearly. I have given like the phrase even though implies that the second part of the sentence contradicts the first part. When a considerable number of players are injured, a team will normally withdraw from a championship tournament, or even if it plays is likely to lose the match. But because of the use of the phrase even though, we should presume and assume that the latter part of the sentence must remain exactly opposite, that the team in this case will continue to play and also try to win the match. So B is the answer. I have analyzed it. Please go through that. This is vocabulary, students, like the table has been given, little bit of explanations like how a word has to be seen, like first of all, word, stem word, like the word has to be seen as positive, negative word. The word has to be identified, parts of speech, first of all. If the word has RSP, like how do you use the word in the context, like the word, like are there any related words to these synonymous words, like students now? Are there any memory tricks to these ones, students now? Or how do you divide and conquer, like in antonyms and synonyms, we follow some process of elimination techniques. Then finally you arrive antonyms and synonyms. Like I have given one word, students, like, and finally how you are coming to antonyms and synonyms. It is there in the book also. You can work out that one, please. This is vocabulary based. This one we have already done analogical ones. Sorry, tense chapter is already over. What I want to show you something in the end is the phrasal verbs. Some are repeated, don't worry about that. Yeah. So there is one exercise, students, like in the book, you will find that prepositional phrases. Just now, I have just given what we call it as one of calls. Now I am coming back to that. Now a treasurer must dash the money he spends now. I have just given that exercise. There are 75 these phrasal verbs. Expect one among them, students. That's what I said now. A complete illustration has been given here now. This exercise is there in the book also. A treasurer must dash the money spent. Account of or account for. Now it has been explained here now. Account, that is noun, verb also, account for something, to be the explanation or cause of something, like account of or account for. Now a treasurer must account for the money he spends. That's the right expression. So you see here now, account for, to be the explanation or cause of something, like, yeah, the poor weather may have accounted for the small crowd. Explanation has been given. Oh well, that accounts for it. I understand now why it happened, like. Or to give an explanation of something, meanings have been given now. How do you account for the show's success? He was unable to account for the error now, to be a particular amount of. There's another meaning here now. Not one meaning, please. 2, 3, 4 meanings. Like the Japanese market accounts for 35% of the company's revenue now. Therefore, account for is the right answer here now. So account for somebody, something also have given now. What is the meaning of this one? Means work out from this. The explanation has been clearly given there, students now. The laborers dash more pay and shorter hours now. Sir, how do I find this asked for and asked after, students? Like in the theory book, I'll show you the phrasal verbs there. I will show you the phrasal verbs, but I have just given what exactly fits here now. Now ask after somebody to say that you would like to know how somebody is, what they are doing now. Which one? Ask after somebody now. He always asks after you in your letters, like means how are you? Asks after you. He asked after you means then he's conveying greetings, like. The laborers dash for more pay and shorter hours. Asked after? No. It should be asked for now. So what is, so I have given asked for one meaning, the other one also asked for somebody. To say that you want to speak to somebody or to be directed to a place now. When you arrive, ask for Jane. Asked for means request or demand now. This is the meaning here now. So the laborers asked for more pay and shorter hours. That is the meaning of this one, students, like, right? So a lot of explanation has been given here now. He refused to dash and appoint a principal now. Back down or back up. So what is the meaning of back down on? Back down from something. To take back a demand, an opinion, etc. that other people are strongly opposing, to admit a defeat. She refused to back down and appoint a principal now. So back down is the right expression now. So the meaning has been clearly given. What exactly you mean by that? Then what do you mean by backup? Also have used the meaning, students, here now. He lost confidence and dashed of the deal at the last minute now. Backed out or backed onto. Back onto something means of a building to have something directly behind it. Our house backs onto the river. Does it fit there? No. Back out of something to decide that you are no longer going to take part in something that has been agreed there. He lost confidence and backed out of the deal. Like the same sentence sometimes I might have given here now. So that is how you need to work out with this phrasal for students. Somebody opened the door and the candle dash blew off or blew out. Blow off, a rude way of saying break wind, like something like gas from your stomach, like that is blow off. Blow somebody off, to deliberately not meet somebody when you said you would. And sometimes to end a romantic relationship with somebody, I blew him off. Blow off. Now what is blow off here? Now let us say again, like one more meaning now. To deliberately not to do something that you said you would. You said you will do, but no. She looks for any excuse. He looks for any excuse he can to blow off the work now. The right expression is blow out. If a flame, etc., blows out, it is put out by the wind now. Somebody opened the door and the candle blew out is the right expression now. So students, like when I have explained so lucidly and clearly here, there should not be any problem with these ones like now, right? I want you to please go through them, all the slides, students. Now it is given here. Just 1 minute. Please work out with these ones. The word boil also I've given now. Work out with the word boil also. Break, that is gate question, last year gate question, please. Just if you can give me just 5-10 minutes, I'll wind up the last section, that is little bit of addressing about the reading comprehension and the sequence, which is explained in my book clearly. That's so what the explanation I have given students like, so that it is easy for you to master them. In our book it is there, but explanation has not been given. I have to show, otherwise it will not come on the slides. Right, students, like these are the ones which what we call it as the prepositional phrases. Please work out. And the next one, this is for your reading. I have given now modal verse list. It is there in our book also, students. Like which book? It is there in the book also. But I've given one exercise based on that. Please read can, could, and all. Clearly explanations have been given now. Can, could, may, might, should. That these are there in the book also. I'll point out in the book, students, like theory book it is there, shall, should, and, but exercise we need to do that. For to that exercise I have explained it. If there is no exercise, no problem. I think exercise has not been given. Exercise is there in the book like now, right? Just allow me one area, students, like just one area. Yes, there is something like what we call it as like reading comprehension, students. Like just give me just about not much about. I don't want to talk much about because it is reading comprehension. One of the questions which they are frequently testing is the inference question, students, like main idea and all, like, you know, after reading, what is the main idea? Like just 4-5 lines I've been given. Main idea. What is the main idea now? It is nothing but the gist of the passage, like newspaper headlines. Newspaper headlines is the main idea. 4 words and what we call it as, students. After reading the passage, ask yourself like, students, what does the passage talk about? Like, ask WH questions, please. Ask WH questions. You will get the answer, please. You have to get the answers. WH. What is the passage about? What is the passage? What is the passage about? Ask such questions. Who involved in that? Who is there in that? Is any place is mentioned about, like where? Is any how reason is mentioned in that one or not, students, like now? So generally what, who, where, how, if you find in these ones, these three, I think you can easily get the what we call it as students like now. So there are what because the questions are there. The slide has not been done by me students like if you have gone through some what we call it as like I have to upgrade this slide please. Maybe just wait. One of the what we call it as like students who have just gone through the deep learn. This is there already in that one also, but main idea, main point, I also want to do 1 or 2 slides of these ones and I will just forward it to you. There's not much about these ones students now. So take the gist, what I call it as like, if you read the newspaper, for example, there is a big paragraph there. Bottom, there, suppose if there is a picture, just beneath the picture, there are 2 red words like, what does it say? The whole paragraph summary. Main idea is nothing but what we call it as the summary students like now, okay? So by asking these questions, you can easily get that. Okay. I just want to go with one more question. They are usually asking inference question. What is inference students like now? Inference is to draw some conclusion. To draw some conclusion. That is exactly inference questions like. Simple students like what are these inference questions? They're little bit based on logical ones like. Inference questions like now, for example, simple one example, let me just give you students like now. Maybe what we call it as students, like, how do you judge this school is what we call it? Why? Maybe like you want to study in that particular school. Maybe why you want to choose that particular college now? Just a simple inference like, what do you infer out of it? Sir, faculty is best. Sir, infrastructure is good. You are inferring something from, you're drawing some conclusions like. So that is exactly what we call it as students like. You're drawing some conclusion, 2 + 2 = 4. You draw some conclusions. That is exactly what we call it as inference questions now. I want you to do some inference questions, which is there already in our book also students like textbook is there. Inference, don't read any other ones please, only main idea and inference. If you want, I'll point out and I'll give the numbers also please. Just excuse me today, few minutes I may take extra. I have to show you certain areas of concern like inference. You're drawing some conclusions about that. So what is that drawing some conclusions? Now you infer something about, you deduce something. They may also use the word deduce or sometimes deduction. Something what we call it as you're deducing. You're concluding something from a given argument students now. After reading that, what we call it as, okay, you see a person. A person has spoken to you. Finally, what do you conclude? The person is good or bad? Definitely you generalize, na? You come to some generalizations afterwards. That is exactly we call it as inference. Or in other words, the examiner will also ask you conclude. Conclusion of the passage. Conclusion. What is students now? Last year they have used the true to the passage, they said now. True to the passage. Now what is true to the passage now? The passage is talking about donkey. And if they are given monkey, it is not true to the passage now. Are you able to understand students? What is something true to the passage? So they have changed the syllabus please. They have simplified it. Yeah, our reading comprehension is nothing but based on inference questions. What is true to the passage? What is the main idea of the passage like? What is the conclusion of the passage? So these are some of the questions that you can think. Author discussed all except means he discussed this one in the argument, discussed in the argument, he did not discuss. He discussed about donkey, but did not discuss about monkey. Then you say, sir, he did not discuss about monkey. Author discussed all except what? Monkey he did not discuss. So some of these ones are inference questions for us now. And the second one is what we call it as a rearrangement of sentences. Rearrangement of sentences. I'll just point out the book. The book is given now. The theory book students now. I'll show you the pages now. So if you come across the pages students, I have given there a complete exercise also just for your kind of perusal. I'll just refer the pages now. so that you can work out with the ones now. I think it is in the grammar section. I think I have given there. Let me just see that. Sequence of the sentences. Now, if you open the verbal ability students, like now, the content point of view, reading and comprehension is a 325, page number 325. So 325 you will find. Please open page 325, please. The students who have the books in front of you, please open 325, please. Reading and comprehension. I have given like, what gate measures, supporting ideas, main idea, inference in my first pages itself. I have given, please go through that. Go through that. And coming to the little bit of reading students now, little bit logic has been given. Please don't go through that. If X, then Y, therefore X, that is not. Once upon a time, we had that. So little bit of this is supposed to be taught by the numerical faculty, but I have given some explanation in my book also for your kind perceivable. Please go through that. Some students who also asked me, sir, syllogism also. I have explained it so carefully. 29 page you will find like. So they use the words like some circles are, all circle, all men are, some men are. I have given some explanation. Theory, page number 329, please. If you can read it, it is very easy, but that is not my subject. But as a verbal point of view, critical reasoning, but this year they have removed critical reasoning like. So, but still, if you want to get more, what because information about your numerical ability, it has been furnished in my book, please. Other pages up to 331, you can read it, please. After 331, there are questions like assumption. Please don't read assumption. Don't read strengthening the argument. Don't read weakening the argument, please. Not necessary. But inference question, page number 340. Page number 340, inference is there. So a lot of what the different words that has been explained about inference now. So sometimes inferences are called relations, abstract thoughts, corollary, entailment, extrapolation, presumption. These are some of the words which I have given. Please go through them, students. Like work out with few questions. That is more than sufficient. I have given a lot of words like. So there are some different kinds of inferences like action motive inferences, cause and effective inferences, analogy inferences. Theory, forget about that. Not necessary. So page number, inference question, you please write down. Page number 340, 41, 42, 43, 44, up to 344. Okay. There is one question like 346 students. Now, course of action, like course of action is not been discussed in the exam. I mean to say that once it was asked when it was critical reasoning. What is course of action, students now? Give the right course of action. What is the right course of action? Sometimes now, supposing like simple courses of actions, like maybe college is going on, you bunk college and you go to watch movies. Like next day, principal will come to know what right course of action should you take. Should he make you to stand in the sun for 5 hours? Should he call all the people and ask you to mock? Option B. Should he call the police? Option C. Or should he inform your parents? Right course of action, right decision. That is what we call it as like. So simple questions. Page number 346 onwards, right course of action. Now. Okay, right. Now sequence of sentences, students, like page numbers. I have given sequence of sentence with a lot of illustrations I have given, please. Page number 320, sequence, rearrangement of sentences. Page number 320, rearrangement of sentences. First of all, when you read PQRS, identify the sentence I have given now. First of all, what is identify? Main, what is the sentence like when you read? Suppose they will give S1 and S6 like, okay, then PQRS before now. Second one is identify supporting details like just now I told you like conjunctions like because, therefore, is it supporting the next sentence like? So I have given like what we call it as like identifying the closing sentences like, right? Then read the given statements very carefully and cogently. Try to divide the sentence into different parts of the speech. Last time I told you if it is a jumbled word like collect adjectives, collect adverbs, collect nouns, what comes before that? Accordingly, we have to do. Then eighth one, students, like number general structure of the paragraph, like generally, general to what we call it as like specific sometimes, or specific to general. Narrations, If you are a good reader of the stories, then you can go through students like now, right? Wonderful now. Sometimes they ask you key points like how to remember key points students now. Generally, S1 will never start with what we call it as the pronouns like. If he's talking about, he may use the word I, but sometimes the first two, S1 will be Rama and the next one will be he. Where is he? Find out in PQRS. Pronouns have to be taken into account like connectors have to be taken into account. These are the two things which we usually talk in sequencing or rearrangement of sentences like. What is that? Pronouns and connectors. Please pay attention to that one. You will understand better now. And is there any comparisons like? Is there any contrasting like? Or opinions, illustrations? Sometimes, okay, this one's like. So I have given a lot of questions with explanations, page number 320, 321, 322, 323, and 324. Rearrangement of sentences. Please go through the sentence today itself. Work out students like now, right? Very good now. Coming to page numbers, if you can browse through them, I'll just give you page numbers. Just now I told you, what is that? Page number 212, phrasal verbs. Just now I told you call for, call against. I have already explained there, but if you want more, page number 212, phrasal verbs. So complete list, alphabetical list has been given in this book. Please go through alphabetical list students like, and the last pages you will find modal verbs there. Up to page number, modal verbs page number, you just, modal verbs page number 299, modal verbs. Can, could, may, might, not much necessary. Enhance your English skills students like can has to be used like I have given 5 rules like. Where may has to be used. What is the difference between can and may? What is the difference between would and should like? So those are the ones which I have explained. Please go through these ones again like, okay, right? Wonderful now. And there is a chapter called grammar here. There are 100 rules I have given in that. Grammar 100. Most of the ones I have covered up here students. Like you please go through those ones. Step by step today you go through and expect one questions from this 101 rule students like now. Is it okay now? Right. So students, as you know that the subject is quite vast, but it's okay. But most of the things have been done. Little bit of reading and working out with the theory book and exercise books. Please work out to read the theory and go with the exercises. I would appreciate that what you want now, what we call it as like, we have an exercise book here in front of you. One day you take noun. Second day you take pronoun. Third day you take what we call it as the right students. If you have any doubts like, supposing like ITS, IT apostrophe S, what is the difference now? IT apostrophe S means it is, that is the meaning there now. So there is exercise, beautiful exercise has been given like, it's, which means you should understand it is. Then read in that manner and you see what exactly this one, it means adjective. This is adjective there. You have to read like that, adjective. It's pen. It's, then what comes like. So please do every day one exercise students like now. And if you have any doubts, you can contact me personally. I don't have any issue as such. Start from today itself. I want today you please go through these reading comprehensions and rearrangement of sentences. Today you please do that. Today you please go through reading comprehension, inference question, main idea questions. Other questions, please don't go through that. Which ones like strengthening, assumptions, weakening. I've given there as it was there in the critical reasoning. These are also part of reading comprehensions like. So, but what you have to read is main idea. So this exercise book. Don't do all questions like, I'll mark also now itself. I'll mark if you want those students who have the books in front of you. This exercise book, page number 190. Page number 190, please. The first and second questions are main idea and main points. Third one, don't do, please. Fourth one also don't do, please. So something supporting, we can do that. Supporting the sentence, like seventh one you can do if you want. Fifth one you can do. Which of the following can be logically concluded from the passage? Concluded means inference. Concluded, like we call it as like weakening Strengthening we can do. Weakening, please don't do. Assumptions also not necessary, please. There's a difference between inference and assumption, students. Like I am not a taught. So let us not do about those ones. So what is logically inferred? For example, 195, 23 question. And please do last year all what we call inference questions, like inference questions. If you have any doubts, you can contact me, please. I think I have already given my numbers. Even now also I try to give you my numbers, please. You can just take down my numbers, please. This is WhatsApp number. There's one more number you can contact me, students. 8522969731. Okay. So students, I might have taken your time. I wish you all the best. So what I could do is I have done it, and any doubts, and students who have taken Deep Learn also, every day they raise questions to me also. I'm very happy about it. Deep Learn package, students. Deep Learn is more what we call as a detailed, more it. I mean to say that this is not details or no, I have detailed it. But there, exercises and all, I might have skipped one or two exercises here. But there we have gone through what we call it as like, please, those students who have the Deep Learn package, please work out with that one, please. Okay, right. So students, if you have any doubts, you can call me. Definitely, I'll try to address. Preferably, you call me somewhere in the evening hours, maybe after 9:30. Sometimes what happens, like I may be in the classes, or preferably I'm going to say that. You can contact me anytime also, not a problem. Daytime also, it's not a problem. But if I am cut your call, which means either I may be in the session or maybe busy, but I will definitely respond. I'll definitely respond, students. Like, okay. So I wish you all the best. God bless you. Work out, students, like now, right? And come out with what we call it as a good scores in this verbal ability. It's very easy. Take every day one. Do exercises, please. Today onwards, you start exercise. Forget about the theory part. Take the book. Every day you start one exercise. Start doing exercises, and you will see the difference, students. And if you have the previous year's questions also, please work out. And then you will be boosted. They will get a lot of confidence now, right? Take care, work out, and come to me if you have any doubts. I'll definitely try to clarify, students. All the best. And again, God bless you, students. Right, very good. Yeah, if you have any doubts, you can raise. Students who are there, I'll definitely, yeah. Any general doubts also, I don't have any problem. Now you can, like, those students, I mean, who have to leave for the classes, you could have left it, no problem. Yeah, now if you have any doubts, you can ask me, please. No doubts, so I will close the session now. Okay, right. You can contact me, students. Ignata.
Sir, in the classroom practice questions, what they have kept in the portal, they have not given verbal aptitude, sir. Only numerical they have given.
But I asked that fellows, they have already forwarded.
No, sir. Only numerical is there, sir, in CRPQs.
That is, I'll call now itself. Since you informed me, I'll call them. Just 1 minute. Now itself, I'll call them. Just 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
1 minute. What they told me is that they have already forwarded. That's what they told me. What is exactly that one? That what soft copy, students?
Yes, sir.
Soft copy of what?
Classroom practice questions for every
classroom
subject.
Practice. Those students who don't have the books, like, okay, just 1 minute. Sandeep, ఆ పోర్టల్లో వాళ్ళకి సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ ఒకటి క్లాస్ రూమ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ అప్లోడ్ చేస్తారంట, న్యూమరికల్ ఎబిలిటీ అప్లోడ్ చేసినారంట వాళ్ళకి. మళ్ళీ వర్బల్ ఎబిలిటీ చేయాలంట కదా, వాళ్ళకి ఇంకా చేయలేదంట. మాట్లాడి ఈ రోజునే చేసేసిండు వాళ్ళకి క్లాస్ అయితే ఈ రోజు ఫైనల్ క్లాస్ కదా వాళ్ళు ఎక్సర్సైజ్ చేసుకోవాలి కొంతమందికి బుక్స్ లేవంటే వాళ్ళకి పోర్టల్లో పెడితే అది వాళ్ళు చూసుకుంటారు వాళ్ళ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ సరేనా ఈ రోజు కంపల్సరీ చేసేయాల్సిందే వాళ్ళకి పోస్ట్ పోన్ చేయాలి రైట్ 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 I just spoken to them and they will do it today. Is it okay?
Thank
Vignata?
you, sir. Thank
Welcome.
you, sir.
Right. Rupesh Kumar.
Sir, my issue also same, sir. Some books they have posted and some books they have not posted, sir.
See, for example, I've taken offline. Yesterday, one student actually called me from somewhere. So what
Yes,
has
sir.
happened? It seems like Dilshud Nagar branch, it seems like offline branches, offline. What has happened? It seems like, when I contacted the person in charge, they said, sir, this is other department, so it has to come to me from them. So I have requested them and they forwarded. Rupesh, if anything like that, do one thing, you forward, you contact the persons, I don't know whom you are contacting, like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will contact, sir. On the Hyderabad one same main center, sir.
seems if it is habits branch, they have given the books. It's only Dilshud Nagar offline students, they have held the books, it seems. I don't know why they have held it, I don't know. So,
No,
but
sir. I am online class student, sir.
offline, definitely they will send it.
No, sir. Some books they have sent, sir, but some books they said that afterwards I will send. But it's happened 1 month, not forwarded.
You do thing like you just forward me your name, your slip, okay?
Okay, sir.
The I'll forward it to the department. Okay, some student forwarded me. I am doing them. Okay,
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.
Sarthak.
Sir, even mine are like some books will be pending. Like I haven't received any yet as of now, but I think they will be like shipped to me soon.
Online or
Yes.
offline, Sarthak?
Yes, sir. I am from online batch only.
I do. Sarthak, you forward me the details. I'll just straight away forward to the
Okay.
okay.
So, sir, like they have sent me an email regarding like a few books have been like dispatched already from the like the
Okay.
center, but NA, CD, and TB. So all these three books are yet not like
Yet to be.
yet to be.
The department, as far as my knowledge goes, like they never delay it unless and until something from the issue of fee or something goes on. Otherwise, they are at what we call it as like they are at war foot in sending the books. So
Correct.
maybe if something has gone wrong with them, I don't know. But you can forward me if you have any details. I will try to look
But
into
there
that.
shouldn't be any issue regarding the fees payment because I have done the complete
They
payment.
forward it. So you just forward me your details and name the books. I'll straight away send it to the department. Okay.
Okay, sir. So, sir, I can WhatsApp you via which number? Like either of.
Which one, Bede?
What's your WhatsApp number of this?
963437627.
Okay, the first one. Okay.
First one. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right.
I will post the details about
You post me
regarding.
to the department.
Yes,
Okay, right. Good.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Right. Right, Bede. Very good. Good.